Right. So this has been on my mind today. 2 Corinthians 6:14. Let's read it. I'll be reading in I want to read the original Greek, the transliteration. I love different versions of the Bible, but right, what is better than the original? So it says here, 2 Corinthians 6:14. Do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. For what partnership can righteousness have with wickedness? Or what fellowship does light have with darkness? Hmm. So, what exactly is an unbeliever? Is that just someone who does not claim to be a Christian? Or let's kind of delve into that a little bit, what the Bible has to say about that. So, basically, go to that word right there with unbelievers, and you click that actual Greek word right there. I'm using Bible Hub, and it's going to take you to similar. I think you got to click the Strong's 571. It's going to take you to similar verses that use that exact same Greek word. Oh, right there. Let's check that out. Matthew 17:17. Jesus speaks. Okay, I backed up to verse 15. So, Lord, have mercy on my son, he said. He has seizures and he is suffering greatly. He often falls into the fire. So, here's a guy seeking for some healing for his son. And what did he say? I brought him to your disciples, but they could not heal him. Okay. It says, you unbelieving and perverse generation, Jesus replied, how long shall I stay with you? How long shall I put up with you? Bring the boy here to me. Okay. He's basically calling those folks unbelievers in verse 17:17. Jesus rebuked the demon and it came out of the boy and he was healed that moment. Then the disciples came to Jesus in private and asked, why couldn't we drive it out? He replied, because you have so little faith. Truly I tell you, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move, and from here to there it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. See, so an unbeliever, according to the Bible, can even be in the church. So simply someone with a lack of faith, not living up to the level that God has called them to live. So here's another verse where that same Greek word unbeliever is being used. Jesus talking to Thomas. Then he said to Thomas, put your finger here. See my hands. Reach out your hand and put it into my side. Stop doubting and believe. Wow. I mean, we can even go to the Greek. What was it? Strong's 571. We said it was. Is it the last word in this? Let me find it. Oh, it's right there. Stop doubting. They translated stop doubting. So here it is. Jesus calling what? An actual disciple, yet again, an unbeliever. So even the chosen disciples, like that made up the church. They can be unbelievers. So folks in the church can be unbelievers. So you can be unequally yoked when you're linking up with another Christian. And that's scary. That's scary because sometimes we think, oh, they claim to be a Christian. Oh, even better yet, they have the same denomination as me. We think we're safe, but no. Listen. Just because you claim to be a Christian or you have a particular denomination equal with that person, you can still be unequally yoked, right? Look at the disciples compared to Christ. He called them unbelievers multiple times because, they doubted, they had a lack of faith. And look at all the Strong's 571 examples. You can kind of get a better understanding of these things. So God has really brought that to mind today that, hey, even in dating, oh, if you're Adventist, you might need to date an Adventist. If you're a Baptist, you might need to date a Baptist or whatever it is. Be careful. Just because they have that title doesn't necessarily mean they're a safe bet. We need to yoke ourselves with, true believers, people who are fully submitted to Christ. They're in love with Jesus and who will change their lives upon receiving new light, because we are constantly, it says, by beholding your change, we're going to be constantly learning about God, Christ, the Bible, and we need to adjust our lives accordingly. If you're still living at this low level that you did maybe in your 20s and now you're in your 30s and you haven't been advancing in your walk with the Lord, something's not right. You don't want to be stagnated. You don't want to be lukewarm, like Revelation talks about. So, the Lord really placed that on my heart today. It's like, hey, don't think you're safe because this person goes to the same church as you do, right? You have to do your due diligence and do your research. And hey, is this person a true follower of Christ? Do they have a relationship with Christ? Are they seeking Christ? So that's a little bit more light on the unequally yoked. We think sometimes, oh, it just slows. You don't claim to be a Christian, but no, it's more than that. It's deeper than that. So yeah, look into that. Do a little word study. Like I said, go into the Strong's 571, and this is how we can kind of clear things up. Like, man, what is this saying here? That's why I love reading the original, either the Greek or the Hebrew, and then doing some word studies and looking at similar verses that use that same Greek word or Hebrew word, because often it's translated differently. Like we read those two examples, it got translated to doubting one point, and then it got translated another way on the other verse. So it's just amazing, and it tells you how many occurrences. This has 23 occurrences. So shoot, you can read all 23 of those verses. You will be an expert with that phrase, unbeliever, in that context. So God bless, friends. I hope this kind of shed some light, and may God be with us all.